everybody, it's Tom from PC Gamer here at PAX West with James from Gigantic. How are you doing?
Great.
So for those who don't know, tell me, what is Gigantic?
So Gigantic's a very fast-paced online 5-on-5 PvP game. It draws inspirations from MOBAs, from shooters, from action games. It's got all of it in there. We're trying to make it for everybody.
A lot of games, since Gigantic was announced a couple of years ago, have, in that similar vein, have come out right now. How do you see Gigantic fitting into that market?
You know, even as we see other games come out that sort of fall in the same general category, we don't feel like any of them are trying to do what we're trying to do. Some things that are unique about Gigantic is it's not following another formula. We're trying to create something entirely new. And that, in particular, we make characters for players with different gaming backgrounds. So if you play shooters, you should feel very comfortable playing Gigantic, though it's got additional strategic elements to it. If you play MOBAs, you know, there are elements from there, but you got to be able to deal with the action combat. Play action games, it feel very natural to you because of the speed and fluidity of it. And if you play more RPGs, there's a lot of interesting skill interaction as well.
So how would you describe it plays then? Because it's third person, you've got abilities, it's not really a shooter per se. Like what would you most, you say it can appeal to all those people, what do you most like compare it to, I guess?
Man, you know, we've got different games that we draw from, but it's trying to be its own thing. So it really is, it's an action game that should feel natural if you play shooters, should also feel natural if you're into like PvP RPG stuff. But at heart, it's an action game in terms of its pacing with a lot of strategy and teamwork.
Cool, and so explain for those who don't know, I guess, just like, what's the goal? You're not pushing a payload or anything like that, you're trying to kill this giant monster of the enemy team, right?
Yeah, we're trying to create a whole new kind of competitive game format. We're looking for one that could be great for serious competitive play, but also just fun to kind of jump in. And yeah, the goal is to kill the gigantic guardian on the enemy team. So each team has 5 players, we're playing different heroes, and then they've got a guardian, and you got to work to take down the enemy guardian. You need the help of yours to do it.
You mentioned competitive. Are you guys looking at eSports at all about this? That's kind of the hot button word right now within competitive games.
Sure. You know, the way we feel about it is that's for players to decide when the game is good enough, ready for that. You know, you're not going to see us come out of the gate with massive $1 million tournaments or anything like that. But it is something that we think about every single day working on it, making sure that it's a game that's good enough for that.
Cool. And recently you guys partnered with Perfect World to publish the game. How has that affected Gigantic and how has that changed it moving forward?
You know, as a new studio, you know, a lot of veteran people, but first time under the Motiga banner, independent studio, it can be pretty tricky in terms of funding and making sure everything's going. So the partnership with Perfect World means more stability for us, and most importantly, means the game can be out for everybody. So, you know, the game's on Xbox One, in the Windows 10 store, but now with Perfect World it also means anybody with a Windows system can play, whether or not you have Windows 10.
So it's not Windows 10 exclusive anymore?
Right, that's the biggest concrete change, which actually, you know, meant a lot of work for engineers. We're getting that stuff sorted out right now. But currently, you know, when we do our internal play tests, every build comes out for all 3 of those.
Cool, and when can all those people get a chance to play it?
Yeah, so right now, because we were doing the sort of reboot, changing where all the servers were, all that kind of stuff, the beta's not active. We're going to restart before the end of the year. People can go to gogigantic.com to sign up.
Cool, well thanks very much for talking with me. And stay tuned at PCGamer.com for more from PAX West.